Hello, divine creations, divine marvels, children of God. Thank you so much for dropping by this video. I am just delighted today to be here, to be making this video. I got a question, and If my true nature is observer, the Atman, and always I'm just witnessing thoughts, and be simple, not able to do any work. I sit simple and witness these thoughts. Is that what I should do if I want to be myself? Question mark. The observer doesn't speak. Wow, amazing question. Thank you. So first of all, just to be clear, I'm not a guru. I am not a fully enlightened being. I don't claim perfection in this path. I don't abide in that experience 24/7 effortlessly. That's my definition of someone who's completed the path of Advaita Vedanta, or the path of self-realization. So, with that said, I've studied these teachings very deeply. I've reflected very deeply, and with effort, I am able to abide in that. So I haven't completed the journey, but I can share my experience. So first and foremost, from your question, it sounds like you have an incomplete teaching, as do most people on this path in the 21st century. And what I mean by that is it's like you haven't been given all the pieces of the puzzle, and I hadn't either. I'm not talking down, by the way. This was my experience until I really delved into traditional Advaita Vedanta. So in traditional Advaita Vedanta, there's they actually do talk about the personality and talk about the relative. In Neo-Advaita, sort of the modern satsang movement, all of that is like pushed aside or negated, or sometimes even attacked. It's kind of scary. But in traditional Advaita Vedanta, there's two systems, and they talk about either the 3 bodies or the 5 bodies. The 5 bodies, the 5 koshas, the bliss body. I forget them. There's the food body or the flesh body, the energy body, the mental, the higher mind, and the bliss. And that system's cool. You can look that up. It's called the sheath. Or I find the 3-body system a little simpler, which is the physical body, the subtle body, and the causal body. And so the subtle body is what we think of as personality, our thoughts, emotions. So Neo-Advaita will lie and tell you there is no personality, there is no subtle body. You are just... that all that stuff just doesn't even exist. That's a lie, sadly. All this stuff does exist, and it continues to exist after realization. Here's something I bet you didn't know about Ramana Maharshi. He was quite the jokester. Ramana would enact traditional Hindu stories, and he would take on the personality of the characters. His voice would change. He would talk like them. He would joke around. He was very playful. Here's something else you probably didn't know about Ramana. The day Gandhi was assassinated, he cried. When Gandhi's, in memorial of Gandhi, they played, now I'm about to cry, they played Gandhi's favorite bhajan on the radio, probably all throughout all of India, and Ramana wept. So this idea that the personality gets destroyed, that if you believe in Advaita Vedanta, I mean, it's such a subtle question. So let's just keep it really simple. The personality isn't destroyed. You become more of the subtle body. It gets healthier and more balanced, and you become more, not you, I don't know if become is the word, but you embody more of your natural personality. Functioning. You just function well. And You become a rich personality. Ramana just didn't sit doing nothing. Neo-Advaita bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Ramana he not only was he at peace 24/7, that's the end goal of Advaita Vedanta. He was an amazing person. Loving, firm, humorous. He instructed animals. He was such the devotee of Arunachala and Shiva. Writing love poems to God, writing love poems as if he was the wife missing her beloved, like taking on the role of the wife who's like yearning for the presence of her beloved husband. So that's my response to this question is, again, I don't know this person. I don't know your specific, but it sounds like you've been hanging out with a Neo-Advaita teacher, or maybe just reading a spiritual book. And a lot of us did that. I did that, just read a book and be like, oh, I understand this. I'm just the self. It becomes this kind of rigidity, and it becomes a belief system. And it's actually a very dangerous belief system. So I would invite you to check out the idea of, and this isn't not just to this specific person, but to someone in this circumstance. And this is what I did. I'm speaking from what helped me, because basically it sounds like you've been infected by Neo-Advaita, and it is a mental disease. It's very dangerous, and it will take you on a downward spiral away from God. So what I did, and what I encourage other people to do, is to look into the idea of karma yoga. Karma yoga does not mean service. Karma yoga is an attitude of, like, how can I devote every action to God? Earlier today I was cleaning out my refrigerator. I'm like, okay, Goddess, this world is yours, and here I am taking care of this world for you. So karma yoga is an attitude. And bhakti yoga, of doing various types of devotional practices, singing to your favorite form of God or goddess, doing worship. And part of karma yoga is getting clear what your duty is. The person who asked this question, it might be your duty to become a sannyasi. I don't know. So maybe everything I'm saying doesn't apply to you, but most people are not cut out for being a sannyasi. And I would know. I've tried to become a sannyasi for 27 years. I'm just not cut out for it. And Ramana advised, many people came to Ramana wanting to renounce, and he advised them not to. The other thing is, in this question, you talk about practicing self-inquiry just sitting. Ramana said that's just for beginners. Then the goal is to practice self-inquiry throughout the day. But if you're not properly prepared through karma yoga and bhakti yoga, and even some raja yoga with breath control, not breath control, but regulation of the breath to still the mind, which Ramana absolutely recommended, then you're probably not going to have a lot of success at self-inquiry. This is what traditional Advaita says. Neo-Advaita says, either do nothing because you are that. You already are enlightened. Or Neo-Advaita says, inquire. Or here's the Neo-Advaita response to your question. The question is, what should I do? What should I do if I want to be myself? You are yourself. You already are that. If you let go of the question, you will realize that you are that. And then the next question was, the observer doesn't speak. Who is it who wants to know that? All questions are merely a denial of the truth that you are that. Like, anyone can do Neo-Advaita talk. You just have to learn the language, and then it just becomes this, like, game. So let's see. So over here, life is going really good. I'm making vast strides in my recovery process. One traditional Advaita Vedanta teacher told me, in the beginning, in the beginning, you do karma yoga and bhakti yoga. You take on the attitude of like, okay, I'm going to serve God and I'm going to worship God. Like this very clear, like, here's me and here's God. And it's just part of the process to develop a healthy ego, in yogic terms, to refine the subtle body. Without refining unless your subtle body is balanced, self-inquiry will fuck you up. Fuck you up. I know from experience. I know people who it's fucked up. I know someone who it led to them having, two people personally, friends. Well, one's a friend, one a brother of a friend. Psychotic break, took me to the verge of suicide. If you take it seriously, like if you just want to go once a week and like treat it like church, okay, maybe Neo-Advaita is good that way. So thank you so much for that beautiful question. And and find a hobby. Go for a walk. Like Advaita Vedanta is all about, it requires balance. There's a set of prerequisites before self-inquiry is begun. You can read up on Shankara, the prerequisites for self-inquiry. And then if you have all those things, then do self-inquiry. If you don't, then do some karma yoga, some bhakti yoga. Again, I say this as advice, but this is what I did. And I tried for years, self-inquiry. And I even knew, I was like, I know this is the wrong path, but it feels so good. So go for a walk, find a hobby, get yourself in balance, unless you already have the prerequisites, in which case, then open your eyes, get off your seat, and practice self-inquiry as you go throughout the day. Wow, 3 people live right now. Hey, everyone. If anyone has any questions or comments, feel free to type them in. And I'll just leave some time and space for that. And one of the best things I ever did was volunteer work, which it is a form of service. It is, but it was life-changing for me. So I hope that was helpful. Hello, Ursula. Hi. Nice to hear from you. I have a memory of you saying hello before. Thanks for saying hi again. So if anyone has any comments, speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay. Thanks, beautiful ones. I know. Here's the answer. You want the answer? Watch the video Katy Perry Firework. It's Advaita Vedanta with dancing and singing and embodying it. That's what's missing in Neo-Advaita, the living of it. Neo-Advaita is all about the talking of it. Advaita Vedanta is about the experiencing and the living of it. As one of my favorite Advaita Vedanta gurus, Katy Perry, said, "Baby, you're a firework." Take care. Much love.